Hello, good morning. Welcome to Joy News Desk. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokom. Namely, we're on DTT because we're free to air on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 125. Coming up this morning, construction begins on TOR Road as Roads Minister meets tanker drivers over their strike to demand fixing of the bad roads in Tema Industrial Area. Also, Asante North MP-elect James Achekwesing files an appeal in the Court of Appeal challenging the daily trial order made by High Court Judge Mary Anzu. Plus, Technology Consultancy Center of the Kwabena Afriyie University of Science and Technology builds water filters to ensure communities affected by galamsey are able to get clean water. We have details for you shortly. There's also business coming up shortly in this bulletin. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Do stay for details. Many thanks for choosing us. Work has begun on a portion of the TOR to Bone Road ahead of an expected meeting between the Tanker Drivers Association and Minister of Roads and Highways this morning. Today marks day 4 since the Ghana National Tanker Drivers Association went on strike to protest the deplorable state of major routes leading to the Tema oil refinery and its environs. According to the aggrieved drivers, the poor state of roads have been worsened by the onset of the rains, which they say does not augur well for the delivery of oil. Now, speaking to Joy News prior to their meeting with the Roads Minister, Vice Chairman of the Association, Sunday Alabi, said they will not back down on their action until the roads are fixed. He spoke with correspondent Elvis Washington.
Well, you could see that there's a work needs to start. But if this is how it's going to go, I don't think it's the best. Because what we are seeing now, we are not seeing any seriousness on construction. Because this is not how to do a serious job. Because what we are seeing, the sand there they are bringing, is not the quality sands. Because these are trucks that are passing here. They are not private cars that pass here. They are trucks. So if different materials will come different from this one, then fine. But if this particular material that they are going to use, as you see behind me, I don't think it's the best. And then they cannot use only one machine to do this job. Because this is a 7-kilometer journey. So you cannot use this machine to do that work. So you should get a better equipment to the site and better materials to the site to fill the places for us and to do the work for us. But as we speak, the minister is not yet in. We are waiting for him to come. Then we'll send him to the road and ask him about the material they are using on the road to see whether it's the best or not the best. So we are waiting for him to come.
Let's cross over to Tema now, where the Roads Minister is currently engaging the tanker drivers on the way forward. My colleague Elvis Washington is there for us. Elvis, what has the Minister been telling the tanker drivers?
All right, so good morning. Well, the Minister, in his engagement with the drivers this morning, actually assured them that, well, this road has not been abandoned, and this road has actually been awarded on contract, for which the contractor is on site, except that one or two things have actually slowed down the contractor. But truthfully, he is saying that, well, from today, as we speak, the drivers would actually see visible action on this road, for which reason he's actually pleading with them to actually resume work so that at least the country do not face any shortage in LPG. He also mentioned that if the drivers fail to resume work, then of course, this is not only going to affect drivers, but of the national economy as well. So basically, he's actually appealing to the drivers to resume work so that the things can actually run smoothly. But the drivers, on the other hand, are also saying that until they see visible action, nothing is going to move them to rescind their decision. So as we speak currently, the drivers have actually moved the minister onto the road to have a feel of what exactly they are talking about. But I have with me some of them who were in that third meeting to tell us what, again, they make of the minister's words. I have with me Mr. Joshua Sunday Alabi to tell us what he makes of the minister's words. Mr. Alabi, welcome to Joy News. What do you make of the minister's work?
Okay, those are just words. We want to see action on the ground. So we brought him to the side to see exactly what is happening on the side. Then we'll see how best we can fix the road so that we go back to work. Because right now we want to see action on the road. Because we'll give them time to fix the road.
He's actually appealing to you guys to resume work.
We can't resume work now until a proper work is being done on the road.
Now you guys have shifted the goalpost a bit from fixing the road properly to reshaping the road for you. What exactly are you demanding for?
Fixing is the same as shaping. We shape it for us because we talk about the safety aspect of it. The truck coupling the trailer, that's what we are scared of, that the truck may roll over. So we are talking about fixing it in a better shape for us.
Finally, before we go, the minister mentioned that there's contractor on this road. Is there a contractor on this road?
There's no contractor on this road. We started the strike before they brought the machine 3 days ago to put on the road.
All right, so that is the situation here on the TOR to Phone Road here in Tema. Well, we are still on the road, and I'll bring up to speed to our listeners whatever transpires here.
Do you have a sense of how soon this will be fixed? I mean, listening to the minister.
Well, the minister mentioned that he would immediately, he came along with the transport minister and he came along with the contractor working on this very stretch. So he said that right from the TOR, he's going to have another meeting with the drivers, which will include the contractor on the road, so that he can come up with clear timelines on when exactly this road will be fixed to the specification of the drivers.
Elvis Washington is our man following this for us in Tema. We'll definitely bring you more after this meeting with the minister. Meanwhile, ranking member on Mines and Energy Committee, John Gyanpo, is demanding immediate action from the minister. In an interview with Joy News, he called for the fixing of all such terrible stretches connecting TOR and other oil depots in Tema to avert a national crisis. His concerns were contained also in a statement he released. My colleague Samuel Mbura joins us via Zoom with details. Samuel, what more do we know from this statement issued by the ranking member?
Aisha, well, the minority is seeking an urgent and passionate call on the government to refrain from the usual approach and show commitment towards addressing the genuine concerns of the Petroleum Tanker Drivers Union with immediate effect to avert the pending national crisis. They are completely rejecting the excuse by the government communicators that the nation is broke following the rapid deployment of road contractors to complete some major roads in the Asin North constituency during the period of the recently held by-election. According to the minority, the action by government in Asin North points to one fact, that they have priorities, and the minority in parliament believes that fixing the roads connecting to these major depots should be one of such priorities. The statement signed by John Gyanpo, the ranking member, Mines and Energy Committee, is therefore calling on the government to fix the said roads with immediate effect.
Samuel Mbura with details of that statement issued by ranking member on Mines and Energy Committee in Parliament, John Gyanpo. Illegal mining has left many river bodies unsuitable for both industrial and domestic activities. The Technology Consultancy Center of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has been building water filters to ensure affected areas are able to get clean water. Love FM's Kwesi Deborah has more for Tech Thursday.
So these are the materials that we'll be using for the production of the water filters. We have the binder, and the kaolin clay and water. So after the mixture, we sieve the mixture to remove all the unwanted materials that was mixed with the clay and other things. After we are done sieving it, you could see that the water and then the clay and then the other ingredients inside
are not well mixed. So we usually mix it together to get a very smooth and uniform texture for the production.
So this is what we've gotten after the sieving. We have to mix them uniformly before we start casting. So you pour gently. This is the second running, topping up.
Because of the nature of materials that we use, you have to make sure that every composition that you prepare must be finished. If you don't finish it, what will happen is for a day or two, there will be a fermentation taking place, creating more bigger pore sizes. Okay, that also has its own application, but that's not what we want as entrepreneurs or as businessmen wanting to make money for the purpose with which it has to do. Yes, of course, when it ferments, we have these macro pore sizes, which we use in pre-treating the industrial waste first before fine treating or fine treatment of the pre-treated water for whatever application you want to do, either food processing or drinking in the house and that kind of thing. So despite that it's a don't, it also has its own interesting application.
After casting, you leave them for some few minutes, and after that you pour out the excess that are in the mold. This is the final product you will get after the casting, and it's called water filter. So we make plenty of these ones, and they are used in filtering water for domestic and industrial use.
The Komfanoche SHS renounces allegiance to Asante man, and it has qualified to the nationals for the first time. It is least expected that Komfanoche would break his allegiance to Asante Kingdom in pursuit of its ambition, but in surprising turn of events, a school named after the revered Asante fetish priest of Komfanoche Senior High School have ditched loyalty to the kingdom to boot out Asante Man SHS and make their first time appearance at the national tournament of the National Science and Maths Quiz. They beat them by a 4-point margin to secure a slot at the preliminary stage of the competition. Emmanuel Bright Kweko has more.
Wonderful Anoche, wonders shall never arise. Beside the school's name, we shall learn, we shall learn, we shall grow, we shall grow, we shall serve Mother Ghana. Blaze the words, we fear no foe. Blaze the words as a mission to accomplish. We shall pursue until victory is ours.
Definitely, they shall pursue until victory is theirs. These are the students from Kwabena Senior High School. In what I describe as an Asante battle between them, Asante Man or Kwabena Senior High School, Asaribediako, and then Joabin Senior High School. That is an Asante clash, I call it. They have managed to overtake them. They subdued Asante Man, beating them by some 4 points. They had 33 points as against Asante Man's 29 points. So you understand that they have renounced Asante Man, or Kwabena has renounced Asante Man, and today Kwabena Senior High School is making their first time into the National Science and Maths Quiz. Coming into the contest, most people would have written you off because they know Joabin has the experience, as Arabediako is there, and even Asante Man. But your students pulled a surprise out of nowhere. Today, you are going to the championship for the very first time. How does this make you feel?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Actually, I came for the balloting. I got the mandate from my boss, who is the main coordinator. So when I came for the balloting, and I saw that Asante man and then Juabing featuring Asarbediakun. In fact, there is a biological term called loop doop. So my heart rate was beating loop doop. It was beating what? Loop doop. But I never gave up. So what happened was that I told my squad that we should sit down. So we burned the midnight oil at the lab 24/7 learning, but not knowing that Asante man comes nowhere to us. Not knowing that Joabe, not knowing that Asante. So we want to let them know that now we are targeting Prempe College.
Your eye is already red. I can see you've cried a lot. You sat on the stage. How did you feel answering the question? I realized you were just making your students happy. How did that feel?
At first, I was not I was not having the confidence. So when we got the first question wrong and then it follows. So when we got the next one and then they clapped their hands for us, I got the confidence that there is hope. So
how does this make you feel, leading your school to the championship for the very first time? I would say you are, let's say, the Yasantua for Confanoche. How does that make you feel?
I'm very happy and I very humble for them believing in me that I can perform this, because if not for the advice given to me when I was about to go on the stage now, I don't even know how to express myself, but I thank everyone for trusting me and giving me the opportunity to be on stage.
Sure.
I'm so overwhelmed. Like, it's out of imagination. We even didn't think about this victory at all. And at least this is our first time. We have had several trials, several contests with great schools, and we always run last. But this is so surprising and amazing. We thank God for today.
Finally, you told me your target is Prempe College, Opokuare. What message you have for them?
Prempe College, seniors, Opokuare. Please, I want you to know, I want you to watch here. This is your campus. Now, the regional championship, we want to be in the same seat with you, and we are coming live and color.
The teachers, the students, and even old students of Okofanochi Senior High School says they brought the Sikeja Kofi into the Asante land. So this time round, during the regional championship for the Ashanti region, they are hoping to make it and clinch it for the very first time as they are moving ahead to the national tournament for the very first time. From here in Kumasi, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweku.
As a North MP-elect, Honorable James Achekwesen has filed an appeal in the Court of Appeal challenging the daily trial order made by High Court Judge Mary Anzu to ensure that Kwesen gets a fair trial in the criminal case against him. His lawyers have filed an application for stay of proceedings pending the determination of his appeal on grounds of several errors of law committed by the trial judge, which breaches Kwesen's right to a fair trial. Motion for stay of proceedings is expected to be moved tomorrow at 11 a.m. by the Venerable Chachuchi Kata Esquire at Criminal Court 3 of the court complex in Accra. My colleague Elton Brobe has details of that document he shares with us. What more do we know about the stay of proceedings?
So, Aisha, the motion will be moved this morning, we are told, at 11 a.m. The lawyers for Jachi Kwesen, they contend that the court erred in law when it failed to appreciate that the exercise of a discretion on June 16th in respect of the grant of adjournment violated the provisions of Article 296 of the 1992 Constitution, as did the exercise of prosecutorial discretion by the Attorney General. Now, they've listed some points that, in their view, the appeals court should look at it and grant the relief that they are seeking. They say that the courts failed to give due attention to important considerations such as the constitutional rights of the accused in exercising its discretion. They also claim that the court erred in law when it claimed that matters brought to its attention by the accused regarding the abuse of the depositorial powers with extremely prejudicial implications and an insult of the accused person and professional misconduct by the Attorney General in respect of this case were not relevant in its consideration of the review application. They claimed that prejudicial statement made by the prosecutor, the Attorney General, seriously affected the fairness of the trial. The court below, that is the High Court, completely, according to them, abdicated its constitutional obligation under Article 12 of the 1992 Constitution to ensure that administrative officials carry out the duties reasonably. And again, the issue of professional misconduct by the Attorney General, according to them, were brought to the attention of the court below by the accused persons, where additional reasons for the court to have reviewed the decision it made at the behest of the Attorney General day-to-day hearing. And the court had, on the 21st of June, at the hearing of the application for review, ruled that the supplementary affidavit, which provided further evidence on these allegations, was relevant and admitted the same affidavit in exercise on other grounds, but now changing the position with no legal basis. And for that reason, they are before the appeals court today, hoping to overturn the decision of the High Court to allow the courts or the court to run on a day-to-day basis as it relates to the case brought against Gyakye Question in the High Court. Aisha.
Elton Brobe with that detail from the motion for stay of prosecution proceedings regarding the case in which Gyakye Question is in the center. We are in court to hear this. We'll be following this in court, and we'll definitely bring our viewers more on what transpires in court. Let's take a break on Joy News Desk. When we return, we'll bring you more. Welcome back to Joy News Desk. To the rest of our stories, a perception poll conducted by think tank Institute for Liberty and Policy Innovation reveals government has wasted well over 73 billion Ghana cedis on some programs and key decisions. It says it believes the figure could be higher if the survey were sector-based, as this explains why Ghanaians are against the introduction of new taxes. Executive Director for Liberty and Policy Innovation, Peter Bismarck Kofi, disclosed this at a launch of Government Waste Report at Tema. Correspondent Kwame Yanka has more.
Perception research conducted by think tank Institute of Liberty and Policy Innovation (ILAPI) between August and November 2022 sought to gather information from the public on their perceptions on government wasteful spending from 2014 to 2021. ILAPI reviewed existing literature on government flagship programs and statutory demands for key concepts, sources, and evidence available. 2,000 respondents took part in the questionnaire-based poll that used digital and online platforms including ILAPI website, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, WhatsApp, with volunteers from all 16 regions engaged to assist. Presidential travels, Saglemi Housing Project, National Cathedral, establishment of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, government appointees, planting for food and jobs, fighting galamsey, among others, are some areas Ghanaians perceive government is wasting taxes on. Peter Bismarck Kofi is the Executive Director, Institute for Liberty and Policy Innovation.
If we had done this sector by sector, and we had done it on almost all the government flagship program from 2014 up to date, we should be recording more than 73 billion Ghana cedis as waste. These are just selected programs, and they were selected based on their perception. So if they choose appointees, then we go back to research on appointees and find out why they meant that as waste. If they say ex gratia, then we go to research on why they think ex gratia is a waste. If, assuming we did more, look, we even did only 1 year of the government machinery expenditure, which was 3.5 billion. If we had done that from 2014, how much government spent in government machinery, Flagstaff House, expenditure there, for just a year? And then we continue with the next year, 2015, 2016, up to 2021. You can imagine. Just a year was 3.5 billion.
Meanwhile, Peter Bismarck Kofi says the research indicates duplication of state institutions is one of the means taxes go down the drain.
You know, corruption in itself is a waste, right? And the fight on corruption also is the waste. So you have double edge there. The Attorney General itself allocated funds as part of its function to prosecute when corrupt-related activities are conducted and people are held as part of the process. But what do we see? How many times do we see some of these activities ongoing? So if Attorney General in itself is failing, do you think we need another institution to take a fraction of its activities to fight corruption? Whereas there are a lot of institutions that have been duplicated already. You look at Shrike is part of the process. You know, Shrike can also fight corruption in terms of conflict of interest and stuff. But they are all there. Okay? So we cannot use taxpayers' money to create a lot of institutions fighting the same thing over and over.
According to the research, 90.5% of Ghanaians have lost trust in government due to corruption and lack of accountability. Kwame Yankes reports for Joy News.
We take a break on Joy News Desk. When we return, we'll bring you business.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to the business segment on Joy News Desk with me, Pius Kojo-Baka. Now, the Bank of Ghana has fined Fidelity Bank Ghana Limited and First National Bank Ghana Limited a combined 1,000 penalty points each for breaching Section 3.4, 3.5, and 3.9 of the Ghana Interbank Forex Market Conduct Rules. In addition, the central bank has suspended the respective forex licenses of the banks from June 29 to July 28. That's the very latest coming in from the Bank of Ghana there. We move on to some other stories, and the UK Ghana Chamber of Commerce has hinted of more foreign direct investment into various sectors of Ghana's economy. According to Executive Director at the Chamber, Ajoba Chiama, Ghana's economy is responding positively and more investors are willing to draw in to support the economy. He spoke to Joy Business at the 2023 edition of the Royal Escort Ladies Day Experience to raise funds for the University of Ghana Medical Center.
The Royal Ascot is one of Britain's most well-known race courses, held on a special week of races in June each year. The events offer business networking opportunity with UKGCC member companies and other stakeholders. Executive Director of the Chamber maintained its members are exploring various opportunities for its investment.
You know that business relations between the UK and Ghana go back over a century. And so the same way Ghanaian businesses are interested in doing business in the UK businesses are always also interested in doing business in Ghana. So yes, and we can expect that the UK businesses that will be investing in Ghana will either be in trading businesses or would look to be setting up similar to what we already have.
On her part, a member from the Clinical Research Department of the University of Ghana Medical Center, Dr. Gifty-Mediama, described the move as a worthy cause to support Ghana's health sector.
This will go a long way to help us establish and then achieve our goal of establishing the clinical trials to help Ghana and the sub-region as a whole. They have taken over. They did it last year and they are doing it this year. We are very grateful for their partnership and we encourage everybody to come on board and support. It's a worthy cause.
Chief of Staff to the CEO of Sukasa Properties, Isaac Kwekubuatin, reiterated commitment to support the initiative.
As a member, we believe that whatever event or programs that the organization is either fronting or being a part, it's important that we come on board to support. And so that's the main reason why we came on board to be the main or the headline sponsors for this particular event.
This is the second edition of the Royal Ascot Ladies Day Experience to raise funds for the University of Ghana Medical Center.
Now, the managing director of Omni Bank, Daniel Esiedu, has stated that the bank will continue to engage its customers through various social platforms as part of its corporate social responsibilities. He explained that such an initiative will help the bank identify the needs of small businesses and its staff through engagements. The following report has more. The health walk covered a distance of 11.46 kilometers, commencing from Bema Camp and passing through 37 encantonments. The event witnessed the enthusiastic participation of thousands of individuals from diverse backgrounds, including Omni employees, representatives from other corporate organizations, and members of the public. Speaking to Joy Business, Managing Director of Omni Daniel Asiedu, assured that the bank will continue to use the opportunity to bond with local businesses.
First of all, you agree with me that we need to create health consciousness amongst our customers, amongst the general public, and amongst our staff. These days, if you look at the rate at which you see obituaries at a very young age, I think it's quite disturbing. And we believe that we need to create health consciousness as a bank. Not only must we emphasize the business angle, but we also need to, as part of our corporate social responsibility, to create awareness among our staff and amongst our customers and the general public at large. And that's why we do what we do.
On his part, the Director General of the National Lotteries Authority, Samuel Awuku, who also joined the walk, urged government institutions to partner banks in undertaking such exercises.
I think it's extremely important, and it's an exercise that, first of all, is geared towards cleaning your system, geared towards energizing you, the circulation of the blood, and also ensuring that at least you deal with some basic diseases that does not help pin you down. So it's an important thing that I believe that ourselves, the NLE hours is development through games, and you can only be active to play a game. And it can only be active when you are also alive. And we believe that our partnership with Omni we commend them. We see them as a serious and important corporate partner in whatever we are doing.
And that's all for business for now. I am Pius Kojo Baka. More after this break.
We can now take you live to the Ashanti region, where government advisor on health is addressing the public on the state of the Agenda 111.
Agenda 111 tini yanka ho asem no. Manso dubia Agenda 111. Ai oguso a contractor for ho ye adwuma one contractor ene ye kan ne konso contractor bi ho no ono na terminate no ne contractor ye dey ma wo bi foforo. Eti ni nyina ka ho, but minimsa mo ka mo kan nyina bom. Eti wo kan nyina bom Ashanti region. Project e nya we 17 plus 5 20 to 2. Nti mo mo se ma aban se wa ya de ama Asante man. There obi busa about design. Say aden na land ho ye problem na ya nye ni nyina abrosan. Ye wo advantages and disadvantages e wo abrosan de nya abrosan. Wo hwe hospital we ya be ma the management of the hospital. Also, you heard that, and then I heard that. I has a lift to be in here, I a lift. I say, if a patient that can lift in your name. As I see what they are, Oko district to see the hospital here, we and I will call inside. I will use a space we inside. The free be healing. And also a bois can say my say, Unam hospital. I say, Unam fee hospital. Yes, there be an out dampaso spaces we inside that. Obi oyare bia ne ho aton kakra ebetimi abe 90 ho ne ade apart from physiotherapy ne gym ne bibia wo mu eno ntina designers ne yese ebenya asase no a ke enya ne nyina de ntia single stack no na obia nye hospital a uwura ho a eho mon from afa ho bibia ho bia e friend healing apart from say doctor ehwe wo no uhia sa healing no ba ba bia enya problems asase ho odente say metropolitan area te say Kumasi and any Accra no eno na you decide later on say any yenye na brosa eno na ama obi busa say completion period 18 months ISA no obi to ka say obi we 18 months but who say when your slide problem e will land issue nti also we new drawing tini aye new drawings new architectural drawings ebema one eno kra abosamba akose bia left no kosoro na abafom ye ka we nyina no ye nuanom mubuafo people living with disabilities so no omo aboye ho se ombe so omu se bibia e kama bado hwe a ye wo enima mienu baabi a ways a walk ways mienu a ne nyina eye smooth and slums so ho na ombetimi de omo hu chair ne bibia fa ho enti ye hwe also people living with disability the way they can also access the hospital enti a disability friendly hospital a hospital ebema is a natural environment healing be kama but baby a nya asase enti se bantema asokore mampon adanse first rank adanse akrofrum but adanse akrofrum ko e koy betuma yen dentia se be ya omo betuma nya the same effect a enya no ha no ti sanete na completion of the project no so no the completion of the project is according to the rate that the contractor is working. Once the contractor works, he cases IPC and continue like here. So all the contracts that so far the 33 that we have gone, we've realized that they are all moving at a pace that they will finish, but they will all not finish one day. Some will finish maybe a month earlier before this one, some will finish the next month, some will finish in 3 months' time. So we have done in such a way that anybody who finishes, we are procuring the equipment. It has a lead time, so the equipment will be fitted in. From next week, the one who is going to do the piping for oxygen, for oxygen cylinders, will be coming here and going to all the sites which have reached about 50% to put in the oxygen piping. So the hospital will roll out as and when. So I'm sure from the first quarter of next year, a lot of things will happen, and you will all be called to come and see and witness whatever has finished. And that's where you appreciate whatever is happening. Thank you.
Even for last 2 questions. The question is, contractors are AC agenda 111. Basically, we say, almost severe, Obia Sika Mano, different, and I say the same amount, and I give them up Obia.
Over here, 3 contractors in a while. Until woman in Niskape, the warrior and Dana Macumba Cumbia and so on, as a watchy. It be a Dana Macumba and a Dana or Henry I say, if I'm right, it's about 23, isn't it? It will be our the oil, it will be a Sika is according to the contract sum. Sanity. But I mean, the Obusan said, all the 1-story building is the same cost. Story buildings, they made double-story buildings, and also their cost, and also made the same cost. But as usual, no contract variations in them. Because one more example, Ubu Chindere, or a fat chippings a free a sigi, and now what they call fat pantoon, a cost Chindere. Even though the contract is the same, you request a transportation in our name, you factor in so that the contractor doesn't lose. Sanity, but the cost of the 1-story is the same across the country. The cost of the double-story is the same across the country. Sanity.
Okay, let's give Dr. Nsensari a quick round of applause. As Dr. Like I said, the Honourable Member of Parliament and the Honourable District Chief Executive, Omube joining me just in about 2 minutes to make some quick comments. Momo Diena, so in about 2 minutes, some quick comments. If we are, you better be asked. Na yedundum fidie na wahani na agise screen na wahana pe near to me show there are akoso 33 sites ayako nyina near to me so you are the ho nyema nyina be mamo na mo so mo to me e dia bode rache mu nyano enti ona all this ube confess na fe MP just some quick comments mo de ni abai e ba ha be 2 years ago mo ni say
e o mi na medasi nze ade ide ni ehu ide eni obi na be kan hwe Yampa na sa president Bosha o share ni dwuma dia o si na ni so say yen mansina hodo a yeni sabia no obetu ni dia maye no abam pepepe ene obi oba ha bia de na ne ahu ene gisem ayekoso te de kodwam ha ene atwema kwa ma ne Ghana ha nyina nti ebesre na ya bompa ya ta no mpani na chi na dwuma dia o yini na so atena wie peye ade ade ni hu die yesisin is what believing na me sure say na nanom awon kroma ani atwema kwa ma manfo nyina no ye de ani ahu bi ye konso a ye bedi hu adanse e de ahye o manfo ne pa ani adwuma papa ye akufo ado oye no atwema kwa ma Bedamasi.
The Honorable Minister. No. Bedamasi bebre. Say aha ana Ghana agenda 11 ni nyina ehyasie. Enne aha nso ne aba begina edi ho adanse. Na sebe potokasem ana yipigi yes book don't lie. Ye ba ye twa so bia enhwe. Enye ade a obi kwahye kokoam ana wakasa bia ye yese ye nyina ye ho. Meda omampanyi ase papa. Sebe bia ye hyase no yese ba bia kyekere aboa no kwa na sebe ye sane no.
Let's speak with our correspondent in Kumasi, Nana Boakye Adom. He's the one monitoring this event for us. Nana Boakye Adom, explain to us what the special advisor on health to government has been saying about the Agenda 111.
All right, so Aisha, Dr. Nsiansari is giving the press briefing, is telling us everything about the Agenda 111 project. In fact, from day one up to today, the rate at which the project has gotten to and the speed to which contractors would have to be moving for the completion of the project. So he made mention of Bantama and some other constituencies having issues with land size and government on resolving all those matters. Here at the hospital, he's saying that it is 62% complete. The key thing is that we have 3 key contractors have their contracts terminated and rewarded to others for slowing the completion of their project. But then I have Dr. Nsiansari here with me, and I think that we can speak to him as well, and then he will give us something brief about what he said during his speech. Doc, so can you summarize what you said during your speech delivery for us?
Yes, my speech delivery was very simple. We are monitoring the Agenda 111 project. We've been to 33 sites. We went to all the sites in Zone 2, which is mainly Central, Eastern, and Western region. We want to know what is going on there. We want to also let Ghanaians see. I'm sure nobody has seen it, so people are saying it is covered. So you will see there's a hoarding around the hospital, so you will not see it. So we want Ghanaians to know that whatever we are doing is true, it's life. So this is why seeing is believing. Gani. So you see it. And you realize that here is about 62% completion. And a lot of work has been done here. The contractors are on site, the workers are on site. Anybody who brings interim payment certificate is paid through the special purpose vehicle, which is called Health Gift. And things are going on. And we are hopeful that this will finish on time for us to put into place what we are doing in Ghana.
I think key is the fact that some contractors have their contracts terminated. Why?
Yeah, because they were not performing. So we don't shy away. If you are not performing, we terminate your contract. So it's a sign to all the other contractors that if you don't perform, we'll terminate it. So far, about 3 or 4 of them have been terminated, and we will do that at any time that we feel fit. We want this project to finish. At least all the ones that we have landed have started. So that is the whole idea about it.
But what of the concerns from the minority claiming that some of these project sites have been abandoned totally?
So you've been here. Is the project site abandoned? We've been showing where we have gone to. If you look at whatever is happening, we are moving on and everything is happening. So there's no site which has abandoned. The sites that are not being working are sites which have either topographical issues, land size issues, or we didn't have land. I know where they were talking about. They went to, I think, Kwabena Afriyie. They went to Akrofo. When they went there, they saw machines there. The land was being prepared. There was a serious topographical issue there. There was some, rocks under the ground. So now they've managed to do all of them, and we went there 2 days ago, and I started working again. So I don't see which side they say it's abandoned. We don't abandon sites. We don't abandon projects. We continue doing the project as it is.
Are we sure, certain, that government will complete this project before 2024?
Inshallah. Government will go. All what have started. That is the vision and the aim of His Excellency the President, to commission them before the midnight of 6th of January 2025. All those that we have started. And then if you go to wherever the sites projects are, where we have gone to, the chiefs and the people know what is happening there. So it's no amount of propaganda will stop Agenda 111 from going on. And all the ones here in Senate, we are very pleased, we are very happy what you have seen here. So when you finish, you can go run and take the pictures and show the people of this country. Please, let us put away propaganda. Health is not politics. Health, we can't do propaganda of health. If you are standing here, either you are PCP or this thing, when you are sick, you go to hospital. You don't go there with your party card. You go there, follow your insurance card, and then you will be seen.
So, will the IMF not delay the project?
It will delay the project. Even during the negotiations and all these projects have been going on. You can ask the contractors. Those who work and bring interim payment certificates are paid through the special purpose vehicle, which is called HELP.
You must be concerned, especially when contracts are being terminated. Where do you stand on this?
I mean, what concern are you talking about? We give letters, warnings to the contractors, and then they have to answer to the consultants. So the consultants who will then inform the employer, which is the office of the president or the government of Ghana, that the work is not going on. And we don't shy away from terminating the contract. That's why we have terminated the contract. And we are
how many of the projects are you expecting to commission by the end of this year?
You will know that. Let us finish the rounds, then I can tell you in confidence that by the end of this month, we'll finish this project. I won't tell you here so that you go and quote me.
So, do we have money?
Because you see, cost measure can happen. But let us move on. We'll be moving on now. We have told you can walk in here at any time. You inform the DC and the consultants and come and see the work is going on or the workers have left the site. When you came here, you said the workers here. Even when we are working, they're also working. That's why electricity issue, because there's no light here. We are also trying to bring the light here. There will be transformer here. Everything will be here. So just be with us, pray for us, and pray for the His Excellency, the President, and the government. So we will deliver.
So we have that money to go for this project. That's a start.
But I told you, most of the money is from ABFA, and then from Ghana government funding. So ABFA, anytime oil is lifted, there's a percentage that comes to Agenda 111. So it's a ready source of money. Even if you're using that alone, you can also attract money from anywhere that you want to attract. Because the oil will not finish today.
You were giving some assurances to nurses that let us provide employment for them.
This is a huge employment opportunity. There are about 101 district hospitals, 7 regional hospitals. We employ, even a typical district hospital like this, the total number of people that we employ here is more than 100. So if you multiply 100 by this, so they will be reassured. We are even giving employment. This year we have given a financial clearance for people to be employed, and they are going to be employed. So every one of them will get employed. But what is interesting to me is that apart from the employment of the health workers and everything, the other employment which people who even can be selling here and also where we are standing is what we call the commerce area. So food will be served here for people who are coming here. So somebody can come here, get a place, and then put something here and sell it from the town here. And then people from other parts of the country will be working here. So this is how it is. So you are going to get employment for first health workers and then non-health workers and also other people who will get work to do from one day or the other. If you realize the road is even being
You heard the Chief Advisor on Health to Government, and Dr. Nsia Asare, updating us on Agenda 111. You earlier also heard Bright Kweku, who's covering the event for us, also telling us more on when to expect outstanding projects on health. We'll take a break on a Joy News Desk. Actually, that's how we wrap up a Joy News Desk. Log on to myjoyonline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. See you again at 12.